Good day and welcome to Habit Creativity. Today we'll be learning how to make this school bag. So let's get started with our pattern drafting. These are the material we'll be needing for our pattern drafting. We'll be needing a paper, maybe a cardboard, a calendar or anything, a marking pen, a scissors, a ruler, and a tape rule. So for the purpose of this class, the measurements we will be using is 15 inches length and 10.5 inches width. So place your tape rule on your pattern paper and measure your length. So I already have 15 inches length over here already. So what I'm going to be doing now is to measure my 10.5 inches breadth. So I'm going to be marking my 10.5 inches breadth like this. You can see. So mark your 10.5 inches breadth at both end. You can see I mark it at the extreme end over here and at the upper end as well. So I'm now going to be using a ruler to connect the dots together. So after connecting the dots, you are going to be cutting it out. Just watch what I'm doing very well. It's very easy to get. If you are coming across this channel for the first time, make sure you subscribe to this channel so you get notified whenever any video is being dropped, and make sure you give this video a like. So I'm cutting it out right now. After cutting your pattern paper out, your measurements, after cutting it out, then you'll be needing an object, a round object. It might be a cover of any bowl, just something round. So that's what you'll be using to shape the upper part of your school bag. You know, the upper part of a school bag is mostly round in shape. Don't let me use normally, because there are some school bag that are not round in shape at the upper part. So you can see me, this is the round cover I'm using. Make sure the tips of your cover is reaching the extreme edge at both sides. So that's where you will be marking it. Just shape it out like you see me doing it here. Even if I'm not saying anything, if you should follow the step I'm doing in this video, you should be able to get what I'm doing. So you repeat the same process at the other part as well, like this. So just repeat the same thing and cut it out. Keep following. So I'm going to be cutting it out now. Just the way you mark it, cut it out that way as well. You don't have to rush. Make sure that your hand is very straight so you get a perfect school bag that won't be bending at any part at all. So take your time. You don't have to rush. So I'm done with this. This is the back panel of my school bag. So we are done with the back panel. The next thing is you should write what it is on it with the measurement. You can write back, then write the measurements for 15 height, 10.5 breadth, so you don't forget. So the next thing is to go to the front panel of our school bag. So the measurement we'll be using for this is 16 inches length and 10.5 inches breadth. The length will be a 1 inch longer than that of the back panel. So you repeat the same step like the back panel, mark it out, use your cover to cover it at the upper part, then you cut it out. So here is the most important part of this front panel. You are going to be marking 9 inches length from your upper part to where 9 inches reach. So you mark it through. Then after you mark it, use your ruler to connect the dots. Just follow me, follow through this. It's very easy to get. If you haven't subscribed to this channel by now, make sure you do so you get notified whenever we drop any new video. So use your ruler to connect the line together. Then take your cover. You've been using your cover to curve it at the down part as well, just like we did for the upper part. You can see me doing it here, so you should be able to get it. It's not hard at all. So do curve it at this part, you do the same thing at the other part as well. So do the same thing at the other part as well. So you can see it now, you can see the curve. I'm trying to use my free hand to make the curve perfect. So after covering it, the next thing is to cut it out. We are going to be cutting it out just the way it is. Just you follow that shape round and cut it out. So cut it out. Good, we are done. So here's the down part of our front panel. We set it aside. So the upper part, you will be measuring 6.5 inches length. That's where the other compartment is, apart from the main compartment. So we are trying to draft it out just like you see in the picture of the bag. We are trying to recreate, we are trying to make. So measure 6.5 inches length, measure it through, and use your roller to connect the dots together like we did the other time. So use your ruler to connect it together. Make sure that your hand is straight so your bag won't be looking somehow and unprofessional. Once you have a nice cutting style, your hand is straight, it's not bending, then you are going to have a perfect bag. So for the breadth, you will be marking 0.7 inch from both sides like this. I hope you can see my tape rule that way I put my pen on. So mark 0.7 inch at both sides and use your ruler to connect it together. You repeat the same thing for the other side as well. 0.7 inches, mark it at the upper part and at the base part as well. So use your ruler to connect it together. So after connecting it together, you take your cover, then make a curve just like we did for the other side for the main upper part. So you can see what we have, then you cut it out. So that's where our other compartment is. The zip will pass through that place. So cut it out. So this is what we have after cutting it out. You should keep this very intact so it doesn't get lost. You can see that it's already in 3 pieces already, so make sure it doesn't get lost. So whenever you want to make any other of these bag, just take your pattern and cut it. So right now we'll be using our back part to get the measurements of our gusset, the side of the bag. So what you will be doing is fold the pattern into two equal half like you see me doing, then notch it. So we'll be measuring the circumference of each part we notch. So the upper part is where the zipper will pass through. That's our zipper panel. then the base part is the down part. So measure it through. When you are measuring, make sure you take your time. Your tape rule should pass through all the circumference so as to get the accurate measurements. So after measuring it all through, write it down. For the upper part, I get 22 inches, and for the lower part, I get 26 inches. So the breadth of my side gusset will be 5 inches breadth. So now I'm going to be drafting the pattern out for the gusset. Measure 22 inches length for the upper part, then 5 inches for the breadth. Measure it through, connect it with your ruler and cut it out. So after cutting it through, after ruling it together, so you cut it out. After cutting it out, you will be dividing it into two equal half where the zipper will pass through. For this type of school bag we are making, the zipper pass through the middle of the bag. So you will be dividing it into two equal parts. Though you might decide not to divide your pattern, so you might leave it like this. Then when you use it to cut your leather, you can then divide your leather into two so it doesn't get lost. So you can do that as well. So divide it into two. Whatever it is you are cutting, ensure your hand is straight. You don't have to rush. Take your time to get something accurate. So after that, you are going to repeat the same thing for the base part of the gusset, which is 26 inches height and 5 inches breadth. Measure it through. Use your ruler to connect the line and cut it out. Don't use my home measurement for my gusset though. Make sure you measure the back panel of your leather. Make sure you measure it so that you get the right gusset for your bag like I did for mine. So here's the base part. So we are done with that. The next thing is our bag handle. We'll be making use of 13 inches length and 2 inches breadth. 13 inches length and 2 inches breadth. Connect the line together and cut it out. It's very easy to get. Once you are able, you can get a notebook to write your measurements in so that when you are cutting your own, it will be easy for you to do. So fold the handle together and make a curve at the base part to give a round shape. You can as well use your cover to make the round curve so you get a perfect round shape, just like you are seeing here. You can see it that the round shape is very perfect. So that's that. The next thing now is for us to transfer our pattern to our leather to cut our leather out. So trace your pattern on your leather just like you did for your pattern and cut it out. You already have your pattern. So anytime you want to make this type of bag, all you have to do is to go to your pattern, place it on your leather and cut it out just like you see me doing here. That's the essence of pattern drafting. So it saves you time the next time you want to make that type of bag. So pay attention to our marking it, especially this front panel. Once you pay close attention, it's very easy to get. So cut it out. So that's our back panel. The next thing is to cut out the front panel just the way you mark it, trace the line and cut it out. Make sure your hand is straight, don't rush. So our front panel is here already too. So the next thing is to cut the gusset, the side of our bag. Place your pattern on it as well and cut it out. So I said you can decide not to divide the upper part of your gusset and use it to trace your leather out, then decide to just split your leather into two like this. Then you divide the leather. So the base part as well, trace it out. It's just your pattern. Once you've gotten your pattern, the rest is very easy. Place it on your leather and cut it out, and make sure you cut in a way that it doesn't waste your leather. So I forgot this part while drafting our pattern. The part that will take in our belt that's going to carry the bag, you can make that 5 by 5, 5 inches height and 5 inches breadth, then cut it out. It's usually in a square shape. So after cutting it out, you see I'm trying to measure it here. After cutting it out, you fold it together. The extreme edge, just like you see me holding it here, fold it into a triangular shape and cut it out. You can see it. It's very easy. Just take your time to understand it and you are going to get it. So you can see it here. So the next thing is our backhand. Trace the hand as well. We draft one bag hand for our pattern, so you are going to be cutting two when cutting it out on your leather. Since it's the same thing, that's the reason why we cut out just one pattern for it. So but when you are transferring it to your leather, you cut two parts because school bag normally has two hands. So trace it out. So right now we are done with that. The next thing is to cut the lining for our leather. So you transfer each leather that you've cut out to your lining and cut it out. But when you are cutting your bag lining, make sure that your lining is a little bit bigger than the leather, so that when you are sewing it won't be too small for you to sew down. It won't be giving you any form of problem. So make sure it's a little bit bigger than the leather, just not too much, just a little bit. So you repeat the same thing for every of the part of the bag. You put it on your lining and use it to cut the lining out. Just repeat the same process for each part. If you are able to follow through to this stage, then it will be easy for you to cut your school bag. It's not that hard at all. It's very, very easy. So we are almost through. So right now we are through with cutting the lining of our bag. The next thing is we are going to be cutting a foam for the handle of our bag for comfortability, so it will be easy for the child to carry on their shoulder. But if you don't have a foam, it's not too necessary, but it provides comfort. That's all.